grownfolksmusic.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to grownfolksmusic.com. I'm your host for the evening, Kimberly Kennedy Charles, better known as DJKKC on Instagram and Twitter. This evening, we have an interview with a very special young lady who has her sophomore album coming out today, or it's out right now. Her name is Koryn Hawthorne. You may or may not know her from her time on The Voice, and I'm sure you know her single from her debut album, Won't He Do It? But anyway, she has a new album out, and we're going to talk to her about it in just a few minutes. So hang tight. Welcome to grownfolksmusic.com.
Yeah, so good to be here.
Thank you so much for your time. For some of the grown folks, this is an introduction to you.
Yeah.
They may or may not know you. So, I heard you say that you grew up watching reality TV competitions and you tried out for a few of them until you landed on The Voice, and you actually did very well on The Voice. But hearing you say that, it occurred to me that there's a whole generation out here now of artists who the competitions are the new A&R. YouTube and the competitions are the new A&R and R and the new entry into the industry. And so, um, did you ever have a plan B, like as in terms of how you would enter the industry if you didn't land on one of the shows?
So I never actually, like, the crazy thing is, like, I never thought about it going any other way. Like, that's literally the weird thing about it. Like, after it happened, I was like, did I not think that I could have, like, got discovered on, like, YouTube or something like that? But I've never thought of it going any other way. Honestly, it had to be that because I don't know. I kind of feel like I have been working my whole life for that. I've been competing in competition since I was 7. So, I mean, just like naturally, I guess. I don't know. I never even thought about it. Like, I remember, like, after The Voice being like, what if I would have got, like, I wonder if I would have gotten discovered any other way. But I don't think I thought about it going any other way. And I don't think I would change it either. But yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Once you got your deal, your record deal, did they know what to do with your voice? Because it's such a big voice on a young lady.
I definitely do think that they they did. I feel like it was the perfect, like, I call them the dream team, like they did know what to do with me, and not only just my voice, but how to purpose it for so many different sounds, because I think that that was the most important thing to me, was to not be put in a box or to not have a specific sound or what y'all think ideally I should sound like. I feel like they did an amazing job with, you know, allowing me to have, like, such a unique sound, and, like, partnering me with such amazing producers and writers who, like, allowed me to, like, creatively do what I can do, which is anything. I love everything. So yeah, shout out to the label. I think they did a good job.
So piggybacking on that, around here at Grown Folks Music, we have a saying called "bridging the gap," and you talked about not being in a box and having the different sounds, and the different sounds continue on this album, including a sample of MJB slash Barry White. So you have some hip hop soul, you have some Christian contemporary sounds, you have different sounds. Talk about why you chose to craft your album that way.
I think just simply because it's how I've always been. Like I said, ever since I was a kid, I've been competing in competitions. And even though I was born and raised in church, I wanted to sing Tina Turner and Beyonce. And I also wanted to sing Carrie Underwood. And I also wanted to sing rock. So I was all over the place, like, naturally as a kid. So I think, like, that kind of followed me just through my journey. And I never, ever again wanted to be placed musically in a box. So of course, through every album, throughout the rest of my life, I think it's always going to be important to me to kind of never stick to one lane sound wise, and to explore, like, all things, because I love music. And I think that that's the most important thing, is that, you know, music is music. It shouldn't have to be specified to, like, a certain genre or a certain thing. So yeah, it was really important to me.
Let me back up and tell the grown folks that your sophomore album is out today, right now. It's
Yeah.
called I Am. I heard you say that you didn't want to be a one hit wonder. Was there pressure with the sophomore project?
Yeah, there was. There was a lot of pressure that actually didn't hit me until last night because before people were asking me, and I just was like, you know what, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm not thinking about it. Last night I was like, oh, I hope they like this album. And I don't know. I think it just was the reality of, I mean, Won't He Do It was my first single, and that song completely changed my life forever. But I think I was just like, I mean, did people just want to hear that song, or do y'all want to hear from me? So I
Mm.
think that was a little bit of my worry. But the album is good, and I guess I had to like trust God and trust myself. And I guess going back to the album title, which is I Am, like trust like who He's created me to be. Like I know who I am, and I mean, currently number one on iTunes, Christian and gospel charts. So I think that I'm pretty happy and like relieved a little bit, but still, I hope that it digests with people well.
Was this album made, was any of this album made, written, or produced during when the pandemic came about?
No, this album happened at the end of last year, a little bit early this year also. So which is kind of crazy for me because when we have songs like Pray, which is on the album, which I feel is so perfect to the times and what we're going through right now, I don't know. For me, that was kind of like a moment where I just was like, whoa, like, God, thank you. Because I'm always praying for him to be in the center. I'm always praying for him to give us good music for the world and for the times. And when he did it, won't he do it? Okay, no pun intended. When he did it, it still was really just like overwhelming and just humbling to be able to like be a vessel to be making music that speaks, it transcends beyond, like, I don't know, like it went before us. There was no way that we knew what was coming, but God knew. So yeah, we wrote this and recorded all of this before the pandemic. And I don't know, this year has been a sucky year. And I've had my lows and just like everybody else, I'm sure. But I guess this is kind of like a positive for me to be able to produce something in this time. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something to contribute, to people's mental health, their spiritual health. So, I'm grateful that, it comes out in this time and hopefully people see that, God has a plan despite the negativity.
So let's talk about the album, a few of the songs on it. Peace was different to me. Talk about peace.
Peace. Well, we came up with this song in the studio just from talking, about life experiences. And this in particular was about family members. And, I just expressed like some of my, situations with my family where I've had to 100% love them from a distance because it just was not good for, my mental health, my emotional health, and even my spiritual health. I love you. Like, but, we cannot be here 24/7. And we talked about that and just realized like how common that is with people, whether it's toxic relationships, with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your family. And we just came up with the idea of protecting your peace is so essential to life. So I love that song just because it's real, it's raw, it's authentic. And I think already people are like, I needed this song. So yeah, really dope to see it happen.
I saw a lot of comments on YouTube about that song, and
Yeah.
you're right, there is a big response already to that song. Talk about you. You seems like it picks up where Won't He Do It left
Yeah.
off. It's a big sound. It's a big
Yeah.
record. Talk about that.
You is the very first song that we got going to the studio sessions for this album. It was the first day we got You. And I think from there we kind of knew like that gave us a little bit of confidence, but it also made it a little bit harder because we was like, dang, we got like what else am I gonna do now? But yeah, You is literally a strong, it's empowering, it's raw, it's authentic, it's real. And again, I mean, like it's a lot of pressure with Won't He Do It, but I think that what you said is true. I think it's the next level, it's the next page, it's the next chapter after Won't He Do It. It's still encouraging, but it seems just a little bit more confident and a little bit stronger. So yeah, I love that song. It's a favorite on the album for sure.
Explain the video to Speak to Me.
Yeah, Speak to Me. Shout out to Donnie McClurkin. We have a sample of one of his songs in there. And I don't know. I think whenever we wrote this song, the idea was literally to kind of like make a love letter to God. I think it was we took off of the "Speak to My Heart" sample, and we were like, yeah, you know what? Like let's show personal relationship with Jesus. Um, and I don't know. I never thought about it meaning anything else until the video came and the director
Mhm.
gave notes and was like, hey, like let's put a love interest in here, because I was like, whoa, I didn't even think about it being that way. But I thought that in that moment it was super important to show it, because as a Christian, being 22 years old, I don't feel like there's a lot of conversations on dating and how to date properly, or how to have, good positive dating relationships. So I think that the idea was to show like keeping God the center of the relationship. And then also it was like a whole bunch of me's in the video. Like I had a whole bunch of doppelgangers, which is still confusing to me, but it looks really dope. It looked really dope on camera. Yeah, I think the video is just dope. Like I think it's dope, and hopefully people, they get the message. Some people are like, I'm gonna play this at my wedding. I'm like, you
Oh,
do that.
wow.
You play this at your wedding, and also people are like, I play this every morning whenever I pray and I'm on my way to work. So I think it's a dope song that lives in both worlds and they mesh. So I'm excited about that one.
I noticed that it is playing at gospel radio as well as urban AC. Is
Yeah,
that what you feel is part of your ministry as a gospel artist? You particularly, just speaking on you, that is
yeah.
that what you set out to do in terms of speaking to crossing over and speaking to different groups or
I don't know. I feel like I I'm like, God, like whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. And I'm not going I feel like I can do it. And if that's where it goes, I'm like, I'm down. I'm that person that I feel like I'm very relatable to both sides. People are like, I didn't even know that this was gospel music, and I think that that's lit. And yeah, I think it could be a part of my ministry, and I don't have no problem with it at all. I think it's God is so much bigger than the four walls of the church. He's so much bigger than a title or a box. So I'm really excited about that. I'm accepting it. If it's my ministry, I'm excited about it, and I promise to handle it with care. But I think it's dope.
you've had a couple opportunities to work with Kirk Franklin. You opened up for him, and then you also helped host the Stellars. What was it like working with Kirk?
Yeah, Kirk Franklin is literally just, I mean, anything that you would imagine for him to be as a fan. Like in person, he is all that and more. And I think being someone who looked up to him as a child, I mean, if there's any career that I can try to model mine after and say, this is what I want, he is that. And I guess meeting him in person and him being a fan of mine and super supportive and just hands on, like whatever you need, like you can always call me. Like, I think that that's what matters to me, is that in real life, like he's really a dope person. So I learned so much going on tour with him, and learned so much just watching him and getting to host with him on the Stellars. I think that this is wisdom that I get to take, throughout the rest of my career. And I don't think a lot of young artists get that opportunity. So shout out to Kirk. We love you, man. Kirk is dope.
You've had so much success so early. Does
Mhm.
that surprise you? Do you feel like you're right where you should be?
I feel like I'm
Um,
where I'm supposed to be. I'm not surprised. I do kind of like step back a little bit and be like, I can't believe, like, really? That's me? I did that? I didn't do it though. God did it. But I don't know. I think that I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I just can only hope to continue to grow from this moment. Like I don't want to take anything for granted, or also move too fast. Because sometimes we accomplish things and it's just like, okay, what's next? What's next? And I never sit in, the good stuff that's happening. So, but I think I'm where I'm supposed to be. I've been working for it, so
what's your definition of grown folks music?
grown folks music, baby. You know what? I feel like this transcends one definition. Grown folks music seems like my mama music, but also now as I've gotten older, I'm like grown folks music is my music too, because I love everything now. Like when I was younger, it kind of seemed like, I don't want to listen to that. I want to, but now I'm like I'm grown folks music. Okay, so I don't know. My definition is real, raw, authentic. I mean, it's honest. That's grown folks music, telling the truth. So, yeah.
This is the part of the interview where you get to shout it out. Tell us all things Koryn Hawthorne. Tell us where we can stream, download by I Am, where we can find you if you have a website, and all of your social media platforms if you have them. And I was going to say where we can find you on tour, but we're not doing that right now.
Yeah,
So just tell us all things
yeah.
Koryn Hawthorne.
Well, you guys can check me out on my website at KorynHawthorne.com. Y'all can follow me on all socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Koryn Hawthorne. Go get the album I Am anywhere that you stream and buy music. That's Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music, Spotify, Tidal, wherever you're listening to music at, this album is there. So go and check it out. And yeah, I love y'all. Please hit me up and let me know what y'all think about the album, and let me know how y'all feeling about me. Period. I wanna talk to y'all. So yeah.
Koryn Hawthorne, thank you so much. Thank you for your time this evening.
Of
Be
course.
blessed. All the best with the new album.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
GrownFolksMusic.com